In the 2010s, a new music genre coalesced out of the pits of the internet. Something called Vaporwave. It's one of the most notable music genres to spawn directly from the internet. Not only was it a music genre, but it was an aesthetic and time period of the internet, pretty much. Most people on the internet today know what it is, but let's go back and try to trace it to its roots. The creation of Vaporwave is a bit hard to pinpoint directly to one thing, but it's generally agreed that one of the first cases of Vaporwave was this. Nobody Here was posted on July 19th, 2009 by Sunset Corp, his real name being Daniel Lopatin. While searching through the Wayback Machine, it didn't archive this video way back then whenever it was posted, and a few years afterwards as well. So unfortunately we can't really see what people thought of this video 15, 16 years ago. But according to commenter Stewie8427, the oldest comment just said, "Road to Salvation," so shout out to him. The entire song is a sample from Lady in Red by Krista Berg. Around a minute and 10 seconds into the original song, he says, "There's nobody here," which Lopatin deepened the voice and then looped it over and over again to a background of like a Rainbow Road from Mario Kart kind of video. It's simple, but it was a big step in the wave that Vaporwave became. The very first concrete album slash EP slash whatever you want to call it was also made by Daniel Lopatin, and it was called Eco Jams Volume 1, released in August of 2010. The album cover, as you can see, is a bit of a mix-up of the cover of Eco the Dolphin on the Sega Genesis and whatever in the world else Lopatin felt like putting on there. You can tell by simply looking at it and then looking at the aesthetics that we have today, such as Vaporwave and Dreamcore, and if you really want to get wild with it, Fruitiger Arrow, they look kind of similar. But that's just my opinion. I might be just talking out of thin air here. Going into the 2010s, niche communities surrounding Vaporwave started popping up in most notably 4chan, Reddit, and Tumblr. It really blew up on Tumblr, matter of fact, and it kind of became the hub of people sharing like the Vaporwave aesthetic boards and really just formulating what the whole, aesthetic behind the genre was. Then a big bombshell hit the scene. A new album, one that you've probably heard of before, was released on December 9th, 2011. Floral Shop by Macintosh Plus, also known as Ramona Langley and like 15 other pseudonyms. You can really tell how influential this album was, not only in terms of the small community that surrounded it, but the entire internet. I mean, if you were on the internet from around 2011 to 2020, 2019 maybe, you definitely interacted with Vaporwave, or at least this album, probably more than once. And its lasting effects are still notable. I mean, if you look up Vaporwave on Google and you go to the Aesthetics Wiki, which is like this second pop-up box, the album cover is literally the first representation that you see of the aesthetic in the genre. After this, the whole niche community became far less niche. As the 2010s kept on coming, people began to experiment more with the ideas presented by Macintosh Plus and other earlier artists, by pretty much just giving any old nostalgia music the good old Vaporwave spin. The first things that come to mind are the Mario 64 OST and Ocarina of Time. Just about anything nostalgic was thrown into this melting pot of a genre, and it began being seen as something that was the embodiment and the sound of nostalgia. Things really started to get mainstream when publications like the Rolling Stone started writing about it. In late 2015, they listed the Vaporwave group 2814 as one of the 10 new artists you need to know, which, I mean, it's a pretty big leap forward from something that was pretty much started off as an unserious music genre that some dude posted in the middle of 2009. And honestly, by this point, that's where the whole genre kind of stagnated. Nothing really groundbreaking came out of the genre past the point of like 2019, 2020. I mean, sure, people were still interacting with it and putting it in their videos and talking about it, and there have been some pretty good musical releases since then. My favorite, if you want a recommendation, is probably Webinar. But I guess what I mean in that is it kind of fell out of the internet's forefront and back into its previous relative obscurity. Now, in my experience, when I was growing up, so was this genre. And I kind of have a soft spot for it for that reason. While I was growing up, I was on the internet from like 2014, 2015, 2016, all the way up until now. I've pretty much been on the internet my entire life, which is a little concerning. Some things on the internet have grown up with me, and Vaporwave is one of those things. So, I mean, I'll always have a soft spot for it. I remember in 2016, when Leafy in Here and Pyrocynical were all popular, and that one song, and You Reposted in the Wrong Neighborhood were popular, and Behind the Meme and whatever. Vaporwave was always present in the background. Floral Shop and Lisa Frank 420 was probably the most common song I heard back then, probably tied with You Reposted in the Wrong Neighborhood. And then going into 2019 in my middle school years, I was getting angsty and whatnot. And not only, I listened to Panic at the Disco and whatnot, but I also listened to a lot of Vaporwave, and that's where really my love of the music genre came from. As you can all have probably noticed, my YouTube channel has been pretty heavily influenced by Vaporwave, maybe not in the senses that I mean, but in a lot of my videos, I use Vaporwave songs, my outros have been Vaporwave themed, my channel banner is Vaporwave themed, and I've seen many people say that Vaporwave is a joke, but I honestly think that's a cop-out. The influence this music and the aesthetic have had on the internet simply just can't be ignored and written off like that, and I think people chalking up to just that is kind of stupid. Hey, what's up, gamers? Hope you guys enjoyed that quick little Vaporwave video. I'm recording this right as I'm done editing it, so, I may upload this around the same time as the Iron Lung review, I don't know. I'm very late to that Iron Lung train, I kind of missed that, but hopefully you'll still take my opinions into account. But anyways, I'm gonna keep this short. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends, I guess. Share, buy my music on iTunes. Anyways, see you guys later. Bye-bye.